Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Chelsea and I have a TBR video for you today. It is already June. That is unbelievable. So this is going to be my June TBR. I'm really excited. I am in the middle of several series, fantasy romance series. So I think this month I am going to be trying to prioritize continuing those series and maybe finishing a couple of them. But without further ado, let's get right into them. But I am very much a mood reader, so we'll see what happens. But our first book here is Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I've heard such good things about this book. This is the second book in the Kindred's Curse series, and I read the first book last month, and I really liked it. The first book I struggled with just a little bit. While I thought it set up the world really well, and it was really interesting, it was a little predictable. The pacing was really the only thing that was a little rough for me. It was very slow moving. In the first book, we were following DM and trying to just figure out what's going on. And she's trying to really figure out her place in the world. She's a healer. Her mother goes missing really early on in the story, and there's just a lot of stuff unknown to her about the world and where she comes from. And in this world, there's a group of people that have the magic and all of the power in society, and then the regular humans are kind of are not really treated well by that group. And she's a healer, so she kind of has to go to the castle and heal somebody there. And then she also gets sort of pushed into this rebellion that's starting to happen too. And there is a romantic lead, but we didn't get too much of him in the first book. I think he'll be in a lot more going forward. But there's a lot of interesting characters, and I'm really excited to see what happens with this romance going forward. Okay, and it's raining a little bit out, so hopefully it's not too loud as the rain is hitting the trees. But anyway, the next book I want to read in June is Horror Movie by Paul Chemlay. I'm really excited for this one. I think it releases sometime in the middle of June. I used to read a lot more horror, and my husband actually, he loves horror and horror movies. That's his genre. He's been reading a few of my older horror books recently, so it's been making me really want to read some more horror, and I saw that this was coming out a few months ago, so it sounds really fun. And it kind of sounds so in the early 90s there was a group of filmmakers that made an art house horror flick, and a lot of weird stuff happened during that movie, and not all of it was even released. But now years later, everybody wants there to be a reboot, and it's going to bring up a lot of things and a lot of stuff that happens while filming that movie. And like I said, I'm really interested in getting back into the horror genre, so I think this one is going to be perfect for that. So now we have This Scary Monster, 11/22/63 by Stephen King, obviously. Okay, so I've been staring this book down for about a month, and I just need to do it. I don't know why I'm waiting. Just because it's so big and it's just going to be really long. But I am very excited to read it because I think I'm going to like it a lot. I've been wanting to read it since last summer. I forgot when exactly I bought this copy. I think it was just earlier this year. But I've been wanting to read it for a while. And it was part of my video I did, 24 books I want to read in 2024. So I think it's time. Okay, I have a few more fantasy romance series that I need to continue on with this month. The first is Fates and Furies by Helen Schuler. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Helen Schuler. So this is the third book in the series, the Legends of Thesmar series. And the fourth book, I believe, comes out later in June. So I'm kind of hoping that I can get through this one and do the fourth one possibly this month if I'm in the mood, because I'm really, really liking this series so far. But either way, I'm definitely going to be continuing on with this one. The first book in this was Blood and Steel, and I really love our characters in this world a lot. We have a badass female warrior. So in this world, they no longer allow women to become warriors or to learn any of those skills. And she was able to go through these trials and actually become a warrior. That's all she's ever wanted. And there's been some very fun cliffhangers in this story. There's a really great romance. The banter between our two main characters is so great. It's kind of not a rivals to lovers story, not really enemies to romance either. He's kind of her instructor through all of this. And there's a lot of other stuff going on. There's some really great side characters in the story as well, and like the found family in these books are great. So hopefully I will like this one just as much as the others. I also need to continue the Kingdom of Lies series. The very last book literally comes out in a couple of days. This one's called A Queen This Fierce and Deadly. These are by Stasia Stark. This is the last book in the series. I am super stoked to read this. I've been thinking about it a lot. I can't wait for this book to come out. Once I read this, I hope to do some sort of review video or overview of these, just because I don't think enough people are talking about these books, and I have to say this is probably one of my favorite new series of this year, if not like my favorite couple in a fantasy romance ever. And the cliffhanger of the last book was insane. I can't really say much about what's going on in the story right now without spoiling it. I just really need to know what happens and how it ends. There's just a lot of interesting things going on in this world. We get to meet a whole cast of characters. The magical system is really interesting and unique. And I just love it so much. I can't wait to see how it ends. And I love this couple. And yes, I will stop babbling about it because I'm going to start saying things that are spoilery, and I will stop. So another new release that's about to come out is Not in Love by Elliot Hazelwood, who is an automatic buy author for me. I eat up her STEM rom-com books, so this sounds like, I don't even know what this book is about, but this sounds like it's going to be one of those. So I'm not really going to look up like too much of the synopsis or anything like that. I just have a really good time with her books. And with this month being kind of in the middle of some heavier books and in the middle of a bunch of fantasy romance series, I think it would be really fun to read something really light and fun, kind of in tandem with those. So I think this will be a really good time. I believe it comes out like at the very beginning of the month too, so hopefully I'll be reading it really soon. And then we also have the Happy Ever playlist by Abby Jimenez. I've been kind of going through Abby Jimenez books lately. I wanted to read everything by her. And I read The Friend Zone last month, and that was a really great book. Abby really knows how to pack a punch with her stories. It's just very emotional, and that one was very emotional. I'm a little scared to read this one now, but I am excited. I know I'm going to like it a lot. In this book, we're going to be following Sloane's character from the other book. And she is in a newer relationship with a musician, it sounds like, and this is going to be their love story. So like I said, I'm a little nervous because it's going to be very emotional, but she's such a good writer, and I'm really excited to get through the rest of her books. Okay, sorry, it's me again. I just realized that the battery died while I was talking about the Happily Ever After playlist. So I still have a few more books to get to. It's a few hours later. But yes, I think I was saying how I am looking forward to this, but also a little nervous about what the story is going to be because we are following Sloane and her new relationship, I believe, with a musician in this story. And then next, I was going to read The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This is the first book in the Dreamland Billionaires series, I believe it's called. Because I want to read this month some stuff that's not as heavy, and I'm in the middle of so many like fantasy series and things like that I want kind of lighter, fun stuff too. This is the same author who wrote the Love Redesigned, which I read earlier this year, and while it wasn't like my favorite couple in a book, I did like the writing a lot. So hopefully in a different scenario, I think I would really like this author. So hopefully I really like this one as well. Then I want to read The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. This is one of my most anticipated books of the year, and it came out a couple months ago, so I've been really wanting to get to it, and this month I think I'm going to be able to. I honestly have been trying to avoid a lot of the reviews and ratings and that kind of thing for this book because I don't even really know what it's about, other than I love Leigh Bardugo's writing style. She wrote like The Six of Crows and like Ninth House, which I really liked. And I believe it's a historical fantasy that's set in like Golden Age Spain. So this is going to be a very interesting read. And then I want to read Hate by Kate James. This is the first book in the Madison Kate series. I'm really excited to start this series. I've heard a lot of good things. This is another Why Choose series that involves a girl who gets in some trouble in the beginning of the story. And when she comes back and moves in with her dad, he's got a new like girlfriend or wife, and the guys who she blames for putting her away are now all living in her house, and she hates them and is out for revenge. I'm really excited for this. There's 4 books in the series, so I have a feeling this is something that I could really like and get addicted to pretty easily. I was just reading the back too. The boys' names are Archer, Kodiak, and Steele. Those are some great names. This I think will be a lot of fun, so I'm really excited to read it this month and start that series because I've been wanting to start that one for a little while as well. So that is my June TBR. I'm really excited for all of these books, and thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me if you could like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me in the future. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!